Welcome to Totally Woman Podcast. Totally Woman is a bi-weekly podcast that uncovers essential health knowledge and highlights inspiring journeys that transforms women's lives. I'm your host, Rosemarie Crosdale, a licensed adult gerontology nurse practitioner, and this season, we want to hear from you. Email us at totallywomanpod1@gmail.com and find us on Instagram at totallywomanpod to join our conversation. While we encourage you to listen to this podcast for health tips, it is not a substitute for a relationship with a primary care provider or clinic. Now let's get to today's episode. This is episode 6 of season 2. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to all my, existing supporters and followers. And welcome to all the new people who are also joining me. Thank you so much for your continued support. I really do appreciate it. It's still March, yes, and we are celebrating Women's History Month. We're still in that mentality where we are just honoring and highlighting and showcasing the women in our lives who have made a difference or an impact on our lives. The past few episodes, we have looked at women in medicine who have paved the way, Dr. Rebecca Lee Crumpler, and some of all these other women who have just been phenomenal in medicine, reproductive medicine, in different areas of medicine. And it's those giants that we're still continuing to stand on their backs today. So today, ladies, I just want to introduce you and welcome to the Totally Woman podcast for the very, very first time. 2 women that I don't even know how to put it in words, but I am so happy to have them on this episode with me. These are the women who have literally just changed my life, contributed to me in so many ways. And today I just want to pay honor, give them tribute, and, just highlight them and showcase them and let them know how very appreciative I am that I have them in my life. So, Totally Woman Podcast family, I would like to introduce you to my mom, Miss Vanessa Crosdale. And also, I have my sister, Mrs. Renee Gilbert, who are here with me today. And let me tell you, these women, first of all, my mom, I cannot tell you how amazing this woman is. Not only because she's my mom, but she's a humble, genuine, prayerful, God-fearing, so many adjectives to describe her: caring, kind, someone who serves in the community. She serves in the church. And I'm just so honored to have her as my mom. And I'm very happy today to, welcome you, Mom, to the Totally Woman podcast. Can you say hi to the ladies?
Hi, everyone.
Yes, that is my mom, everyone. So, Mommy, just to begin, we came here from Jamaica. You were used to one way of doing things. And then you came to America. It was actually starting over again from scratch. And you just delve into it like a trooper, like you've been here before, taking on odd jobs, acclimating to a new weather and doing all of these things with your husband and your kids. How did you do it? How were you able to navigate your way on this journey?
When my mom had filed for me to migrate to the USA, my mother always tells me that when you leave from your country to a next person country, it's not going to be easy. You're going to start all over again. You're not going to have life like when you were in your country. So I have this mindset from then. So when I got through to come to the United States in 1991 November, I still have that mindset. But the only thing when I got here, it was winter and I did not used to the cold.
Never had winter before. Yes.
And it was very, very new to me. I heard about it. My mom always told me about it because she was here in the States for a while. And she always tell me how cold it was. But I had never experienced it before. I have to put on the jacket. I have to put on a hat. I have to wear gloves. My God, it was so heavy when I'm walking to carry all of these things because, I could not take the cold. I never used to it. But when I came, I have the kids with me and I know that I have to start all over again. And thanks be to God, when I got here, someone offered me a weekend job. I was working with this Jewish lady. She was very kind, and she always told me that, Vanessa, nothing is easy in this country and you never get anything free. So, I worked with her for a while, for 1 year, while I did my nurse's aid. And I went to this class every Saturday morning when I got home. I would just take the bus again to the classes every Saturday morning until I was finished. And God has been good. When you put God first in everything, He will work out things for your good. I remember after I had done the nurse's aid, I took the state board, I passed, and now I have to get a job. So one Sunday while I was doing my weekend job, I prayed to the Lord and I said, God, I do not used to be working in someone's home every Sunday. I usually go to church. And I prayed that Sunday and I said, God, please provide a job for me. The Monday morning, my sister called me from Brooklyn Hospital Center. And she said, they are looking for someone to work on the 9th floor, a nurse's aide. And she said, you can come, bring your resume. So that Monday, I went Tuesday. So when I got there, I saw the supervisor. Never saw her. It's the first time seeing her. And when the nurse manager for the 9th floor, when they sent me to see her, and the supervisor that was in the nursing home recommended me, she said to me, where you know that lady from? I have not known her. I just met her for the first time. But she thought more or less, since she have recommended me, I have known her. But you see, when you have favor with God, He will work out things for you. So I got the job and I work and they like how I work. For the first year when I started work, I never went to work late. The next year, they gave me Employee of the Year, not of the month, of the year, because I work well. And everybody liked how I work. My patients, they started to say, oh, that lady is so nice. She did that to me that no one else did. So I have to come home in the morning, see to it that my children go to school, especially the two younger ones. Because Mary was older, so she could help herself. So Ron, my third son, he was the one that I had to go to his school. So when I'm coming home from work, I will always go to his school to see how he's doing. We are a very close-knit family. Not to talk about Rosemarie. When she had her first son, he was sick. And we work along with her, encourage her, and she did her best for her child. I have never seen a mother who take care of a child like that. From the day she was pregnant until the day he was born, she was right by his side until the day that he died. And I just thank God for her. She went to school and she studied. I encourage her. I said, Mary, you can do it.
That's one thing, though, Mom. You were always very encouraging and supporting of, whatever endeavors that we did. And I mean, you talked about the matriarch, your mom. who, I must also give her props, Bertiana Tatiana Ford. That's, your mom who paved the way. And I feel like, that is the kind of blood that we have running through our veins. We have in our DNA. She was a hard worker. The work ethic that you have, I know Renee gets a lot of it from you in terms of early riser. I'm not the early riser person, but I must commend you. You did the best with what you had, and you did an awesome and amazing job. And Brooklyn Hospital, I mean, you worked there through all your years and then you retired. And that was so amazing, and all these accolades that you got, not only from your patients, but also from management, so kudos to you. So we just want to thank you for that. Mrs. Gilbert, formerly Miss Crosdale, my sister Renee, we've grown up together. We're like, how far? We're 12 years apart, actually.
Yeah.
So Renee always have to be like, you're not my mother. Cause, I usually take on that mother role. But as we got older, I felt like we got closer as sisters, right? Like once we started getting older and she started experiencing life and stuff. So Renee, my sister, my darling, talk to the women of Totally Woman. Let them know in your journey. Oh my God, I'm not even going to say how old you're going to be turning soon, but she's married with my two amazing nephews, and I'm so proud of her. So just tell us a little bit about your journey, Miss Renee Gilbert, and, who are the women in your life who has actually made a difference for you?
Yes. Hi, everyone. My name is Renee. I'm also a registered nurse, and I have 2 young boys and a wonderful husband who I'm very proud of. I must say that I am very grateful to have 2 women that mean the world to me. I share a very special bond and relationship with my mother. I really love and adore her. And I don't think too many people could say that they're able to speak to their mother as a friend and, ask them questions whenever they're struggling or whenever they're down. My mom is always there for me, and I know that she will never leave me astray. Growing up, I saw how hard that she had to work. I saw her dedication just to take care of us while we were growing up, and I'm very grateful and I'm very thankful for all of those things. And as a young age, even though there were times that she would be strict and we couldn't go to certain parties.
A lot of times, Renee, tell the truth.
At a young age, I did understand her reasoning behind it. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure that she saved us from so many things that we could have been a part of. And I'm so grateful for that. Mm-hmm. She instilled in all of us our love and relationship that we have with the Lord. And, I'm able to instill that into my children today. So I'm very grateful for you, Mom. Thank you for always being there. Rosemarie, like growing up, we had like this mother-daughter relationship. Like you were definitely my second mom. Something that comes to mind, I don't know if you remember. So I had a little
stories that you're telling on this.
No, this is good. So I had a little part-time job. This was my first job when I was in high school. So I was saving up money for a prom dress. So I saved up money and we went shopping and we went and we bought this dress. And for some reason, you took me to the city to this other store. And I fell in love with a different dress. And I had paid a down payment on the first dress, but this dress, for some reason, I fell in love with it. And you, of course, encouraged me, try it on, Renee, try it on. I tried on the dress and I was like, this was the dress. And let me tell you, my sister went into her wallet. This dress cost $400 and something. And back then, like 2002, that was very expensive. So my sister, she was always that type of person. She was there for us. My parents worked really hard, but I remember times she would take me shopping for school. She would take myself and my brother on like trips. And we were there with Andre, and we were just this ride or die family. And, just like my mom said, we've always had this close bond and this close relationship that I'm so grateful for. And now, as I'm older, we've definitely gotten closer where we developed this friendship, like best friend relationship.
Yes.
So I'm very grateful for both of you and so thankful. And, I celebrate you both on this Women's History Month.
Yes, I really second those sentiments. I mean, I know there's so many women out there who, they don't have their mom, or they don't have a sister, or even if they do, sometimes they're not very close and stuff like that. How do you think we're still able to like just maintain this kind of relationship?
I feel like it stemmed from the older generation, like watching both my parents grow up. Like my mom came of a household with like 14 children, and so did my father. So they had a very large family. And growing up, we had a lot of cousins. So we would always be together, and we just had this close-knit family relationship. So growing up, that's all we knew.
Yes.
So I feel like as the years went by, it just never went away. We, live in close proximity of each other, and just that bond that we share. We know that family is like number one.
Yes.
That is like my go-to. Family is number one. Like you can have your friends, but friends may come and go, but family will always be there for you. And the type of love that we share is a genuine love. It's like a natural, genuine love. So I feel like as we get older, our bond is just naturally to make sure that the other person is like good.
Yeah.
I need to make sure that my parents are good. I need to make sure that my sister is good, and my brother, and like vice versa. So we've always been like that, and we've always had that. If anybody was in trouble, we would drop whatever needed to be dropped, and we'll go and handle what we need to handle. That's just the relationship that we had growing up. And to this day, we still share that bond.
Yes, yes. And I must say also, like, mommy, with you, you have your sisters, and some of your sisters, like, you're very close with them as well. A lot of the family there, in terms of the extended family, like they've migrated, people are living in different areas. But, how do you maintain your relationship as well with your siblings and stuff like that?
Although we migrated and living in different states, we maintain our relationship by communication, where we call one another each day or once or twice per week. If I don't hear from my sisters, then they would call and say, why you didn't call? So I would always say to them, well, you can call also, we have that close relationship, that bonding from, we were growing up.
Right. Or you go visit, right? You take trips as well.
I go to Florida. Yeah. I go to North Carolina to visit my sister that is there, and nieces and nephews. And, we keep up with each other because that's what family is all about. Yes.
So like I said, just having this bond with my mom and my sister, I just want us to continue to, just evolving. Like over the years, it's like wine, right? As you age, we're aging and we're getting better. We're getting finer and we're getting better. And though there are obstacles and different things like that, we're still able to, maintain the relationship with each other and have that friendship and stuff like that. I was just going to ask you, how has failure in whatever area, maybe something that didn't work out, how has that over time allowed you to grow?
Okay. I remember, yes, when I was going to college and I have to work night and then went to school and then come home and do all of these things. And I remember one day I said to myself, I don't think I can really go through with this because I was working full time and, come home to do the housework, going to church and so on and so forth. And I didn't want to take this to take away from my family, not coming home, and just tired and not able to communicate, especially my husband was there, yes. But to me, when it comes to family, we have to set our priorities. And I think that was taken away from my family. I was working and I was getting a good pay, that was able to pay my bills and to do other things. So I just satisfied with it. I did my nursing technician and I was able to get, something, well for 2 weeks bi-weekly. So I was comfortable with that. And then my husband was working. So I said, let my children, let them go to college and do what they have to do so that they can, be better women and men.
Okay. So you stopped going to pursue your, because I know in Jamaica, like you were a licensed, like what we would call an LPN, but you wanted to also pursue your RN. And I know you had stopped doing that. And then you went to do your nursing technician. So kudos to you for doing that. I mean, we are very, very grateful. I mean, you could have continued to do whatever you wanted to do, but then you chose to, settle into that. And you were so, so very good at what you did. I remember even being a patient in that hospital and, the amount of times that people would talk about you and stuff like that. So I don't even consider that as being a failure because the stuff that how to draw blood, how to, do an EKG and certain things like that, you were definitely functioning in different capacities. So I don't really look at that as so much as a failure. I just think that it just contributed to you and the person that, you became in your field, I would like to ask Renee this because as a young person, being married, with the kids and stuff like that, how do you balance your personal life with professional goals and responsibilities? Because I know you work in a field where it's like, it's you're a nurse, but you're in a palliative care area. And it's not an easy area to work in. So how do you balance, that part of your life?
Yeah, definitely. Palliative care, like you really have to have a lot of compassion to work in that field. Mm-hmm. I'm very grateful to exhibit those characteristics where I can take on that role, but it does get challenging at times. There's time I'm on the job and I start crying, or myself and my coworkers, we cry together and we get through it together. But I try not to take it home with me.
Yeah.
I definitely try not to. So when I come home, it's like I'm ready and available to accept my family and just, be there for them. And when I come home, I'm grateful when I see my family because so many people are unfortunate. It opens up your eye and allows you to be more grateful. And then you want to spend those quality times with the people that you love and you care about. So definitely, you definitely have to have self-care when you work in any type of field. And my self-care, I definitely do things for myself, but I love to be around my family. And we set dates, whether it's with my husband, maybe we will go on a date because, you can't neglect your husband too. We may go on dates together. We go out with the boys a lot, different things, like that. Funny that mommy said that. When I had my children, I was down on myself at one point. I did want to go back to school, but when I had my boys, I wanted to be very hands-on with them. And also my husband was in school during that time. So two of us in school would have been a handful. Someone had to be there. Someone had to be there to support the boys. And I was very hands-on. Just like mom said, when we were younger, she used to come to our school when we had our parent teachers meeting. When I go and I meet with the teachers, they're so shocked because I'm there with my pen and my notebook. I'm making sure that I understand the work. And this was they were in elementary school. So I'm a very hands-on mom, and I'm grateful, that my boys are older, now where I can branch out and do different things. Definitely, I have to spend that quality time with my family. And most importantly, I just try not to bring home, that with them. I do try to be as open with them, and I, let them know about different things going on in the world. But I have to be able to separate the two and just be there for my boys. So that's not a challenge at all. I don't have a problem doing that. So that's been working out for me. Balance is definitely the key. You need your work balance, you need your family time, you also need time for your self-care as well.
Yes, yes. And speaking about self-care, I know that, the three of us have, we've gone and we've gotten like, massages together. We have definitely embarked on some things where we have taken care of ourselves. And, just talking about, us being, as women and, going through different things. And we see so many things happening now. And just to even prioritize getting our, physicals done and stuff like that. And, we want to continue to take this opportunity to encourage the women who join in on the podcast and let them know that they should also try to, maintain getting their screenings and different things like that taken care of with our health and stuff like that. In terms of that, sometimes there's like a disconnect or breakdown between, mothers and daughters. Because sometimes we have to be real. Sometimes mothers and daughters, we have a difficult times in terms of communicating, right? Like Renee said, during the teenage years, there are certain things that, of course, we wouldn't come and tell mommy. But now some conversations that I have with my mom, I'm like, we talk about sex, and she'll be like blushing or something. and when Renee, we could have never like bring certain things to mommy, like when we probably were like, 18, 19, right? We would have never went to her with some of those things. But now we're at that comfort level where, us three, we feel comfortable with talking about certain things and, stuff like that. So Renee, what advice would you share with some young girls growing up now? A takeaway then that you want them to take away with just like with relationships and stuff like that.
So a takeaway that I would give to young girls is to not compare yourself to others, right? Be yourself. Don't compare yourself to others. As young girls, we tend to look at social media, and social media, we have to remember that it's not 100% reality, right? People are just going to show the good of things. Like they're going to show the beauty in everything, and they're going to show that picture perfect thing, so, and girls, you look at those things and you're like, oh, I want to be like that when I grow up. Oh, I want to have this, the flat stomach. Oh, I want to wear this. I want to wear that. So as like young girls, try to stray away from that. It's very important to have someone in your corner that you can talk to. If you feel like you don't have that close bond with your mom, maybe it's an aunt, maybe it's a sister, but choose someone that you feel comfortable talking to and that you trust, so that you can just confide in them, whatever that you are going through. There's some girls that have no one to talk to and they stray away. They may listen to their friends, friends don't know everything. They may listen to their older siblings and they may give them the wrong advice. I am raising two boys and I definitely start talking to them at a young age because I don't want them learning things from their friends, because I'm the one that's going to give them the reality of it. And I'm the one that's going to be honest with them, and I care about them and I love them. So it's the same thing for young girls. It's very important to have someone to talk to. And also another thing, the role of the father is so, I know that is like women's month, but relationship that a young girl has with her dad is so important, because that's where she learns real love. And that's where she learns how to be treated, so that as she gets older, when she may not go astray, when she meets different guys and certain things like that. It's so important to have a good bond and a good relationship with your father. I know some girls are not fortunate to have a father, or maybe their father is like not around. I'm hoping that maybe they have an older brother or maybe an uncle that they can confide in, because it's so important to establish a father figure who you can talk to and you can confide in. That is very important too. So stay true to yourself, have someone to confide in, and don't compare yourself to other people, because you may want what that person has and that person may be struggling with the same thing that you want.
Well said. Well said. Mommy, what advice would you give, to young girls, to the women, who are listening to us today? What would you want to just say to them as a final, final thought?
As Renee said, be yourself, love yourself, and don't compare yourself with others. There's a word that says in the Bible. I'm just going to bring it in. The Bible says you are fearfully and wonderfully made. So love yourself, do the best for yourself. Try and form a relationship with your mother. Find that space or that relationship where you can talk to your mother. You can confide in your parents. With my children, I know when something is wrong with them. Sometimes when Renee talk to me, and I said, that's not Renee. Something is wrong. Then I said to her, Renee, the way how you talk, it's like something is wrong. And sometimes when I look at their face, Mary know that, and Renee knows that, I can tell that something is wrong. And that's when we were growing up. My mother could tell when something is wrong. Even when we told her that we are okay, she says, no, you are not okay. So we couldn't hide anything from her, So with young girls, even as I have my family, I try to reach out to young girls to let them know, don't look down on yourself. Be who you are. And when you're speaking to someone, if you're on the street and, someone stop you and you're speaking to them like a boy, don't hold on your head. Look straight in their face and tell them, what you are up to. Don't go into a relationship where the young man is not working and you have to work yourself to death to take care of this young man, because some of them are like that. Be yourself, love yourself, respect yourself, right? And more so, trust God and put him first in everything you do, and you will be okay. Go to school, get a good education, and do the best that you can. Okay? And don't let anyone look down on you.
I am just so excited, and I'm so grateful for this opportunity that my mom and my sister could join me during this last week of celebrating Women's History Month. I want to thank Mommy. I want to thank Renee, for taking time just to sit down and talk with me and to share with me and the ladies of the Totally Woman podcast. I really do appreciate you so much. And, just as a takeaway, and, as we continue to celebrate Women's History Month, I know Women's History Month is in March, and we don't just have to celebrate in March alone. We celebrate women all throughout the year. And you celebrate your mom, you celebrate people who have been great to you all throughout the year. And we just continue to be kind. That is the word that I want to say. Be kind to each other. But not just be kind to each other, but be kind to yourself. And I want to also encourage the women to make sure that they're prioritizing their health and putting, their screenings and different things that need to be done that we haven't done. I mean, going back to the first episode, even, just getting a physical and just doing stuff for ourselves, throughout this time. If we want to take this month then to, jumpstart doing certain things. I know that there's certain things that I haven't probably put on the list yet to do for myself. So if you're in that boat, I encourage you to do that. But, just fostering good relationships. I'm very honored and very happy to have the relationship that I have with my mom and my sister. I don't take it for granted. And I know that there's so many people out there who may not share that, but you have that special person. And whether it's not your mom, like my mom and my sister said, it could be an aunt, a godmom, or, a godparent, or someone that you value. It could be a teacher, a guidance counselor, someone that you value, someone that you can look up to and say, this person has some standards about them that I really do admire and that I would want for myself. And if you find a person like that, and that person, you can relate to them, then that's someone that you would want to stick onto. Okay. So I just want to encourage us just to continue, just to stay in this frame of mind where we just continue to honor and just to celebrate each other as women and not to tear each other down. It's the best thing that we can do for each other. I also want to say that Totally Woman podcast, Amazon Music, we're still being sponsored, throughout the month of March. You can go and you can still listen on Amazon Music. So if you haven't checked that out as yet, now is an excellent time to go and do that before the month is over, to check out this podcast on Amazon Music. Again, I just want to thank everyone. I want to thank my mom. I want to thank Renee, my mom and my sister for joining us today. And I want to thank the Totally Woman podcast women for just allowing us to just, be ourselves and just to vibe with each other. I pray that this podcast was a blessing to each and every one of you. And we just continue to celebrate you and celebrate each other. So women, as you continue, just be kind to yourselves and never give up on yourself. And if today it may not happen or it didn't work out, then you try again tomorrow. Or you just give yourself a pat on the back and look in the mirror and just say, you can do it. You've got this, girl. So happy Women's History Month to all of you women as we just continue to uplift and to motivate and to inspire each other. Thank you. Join me on the next episode.
And thanks for having us.
Totally Women podcast is hosted by Rosemarie Crosdale. This episode was produced by Quana and Wise Grisette. Episode artwork by Estrella Grisette and powered by Indie Creative Podcasts.